Dog.
What's up, and welcome back again, everybody, to the Fake Stuff Podcast. We got another episode. It is getting late tonight, but we're up. We're ready to roll. We
We
kind of
excited
stay
about
up
football,
late on
man.
weekends. We
We
are.
excited, dude. We've had real football on the TV, preseason, but I mean, I do like to watch my team, the Packers. You can see we all in on this thing, dude. But yeah, dude, football is here, man. It's here. We're about to be drafting, and we're all trying to put it together, dude. And so we got a little something we're gonna do for y'all today, dude. But yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on this the Fake Stuff Podcast. Don't be a hoe, and
Share the show.
for sure.
It took me a second that you were throwing it to me, but I got there eventually. Like I
That's
said,
good.
it's late. We're a little slow. We're slow already, but we're slower now than
Yeah.
we usually are with the way our brains work. But we got a good episode today. We're going to be talking about ADP, diving deep into it, and I really don't want to be selfish. Matt's
For
gone.
the people that don't really know, let's what does ADP mean?
That's the average draft position, and we're going to be using Fantasy Pros real time average draft position. This moves daily. You get to see all kind of different sites, ESPN, Yahoo, Sleeper, and it's the average of all of them kind of put together. ESPN, nobody really cares about their ADP
Womp,
because
womp.
if you play in an ESPN league, like be real with yourself. Are you really playing fantasy football, or are
Right.
you doing like something totally different? We don't. It is crazy because we play at
Shake weight.
Yahoo
Shake weight. Yeah. I know, right. Yeah. We play Yahoo. Yeah.
and Sleeper, but Yahoo. I mean, I'm surprised Google hasn't taken over fantasy football like they did when Yahoo used to be the search engine of choice. You remember that back in the day when Yahoo was like, "Are you
For
going to
sure.
Yahoo something to figure out the answer to this?"
Yeah.
Nobody says that anymore.
No. No. And I mean, I don't even think we said it then. But we did. We definitely didn't say Google it either, though. You know what I mean? Like you got to look it up. You got to look
Bing.
it. And yeah. And I mean, Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and I feel like there was one more. But yeah, Yahoo was a thing. I mean, I would never forget. And this is a little '90s nostalgia. The movie Inspector Gadget.
Mm.
There was a scene in that movie where he wrecks a car into a billboard, and as the billboard falls, it's a advertisement for Yahoo, and it goes Yahoo,
Okay.
and it falls. And I just ever since I was like, yeah, that
Yeah.
was Yahoo till we die. I don't know.
I'm
That's just
surprised.
it's just the try to true. It's what we use, but everybody's got their thing. So let's not focus on that. Let's focus on talking shit.
So ADP, like we said, average draft position. This is going to be the best site I could find, and people will talk a bunch of crap about ADP, this, that, and the other on different podcasting shows. But shoot, man, if you stick to ADP, these are some really good drafters drafting day in day out, and I don't. Even though I think I venture off, I don't venture off as much as I think that I would. You know what I mean? Like I have strong conviction about players, and I'm like, you know how people say like nobody has an original thought anymore. That's the way I feel when
Yeah,
I do my rankings. It's like because I didn't look at ADP when I was doing my rankings. I just looked at a list of players
right.
and then put them in positions. I've been changing them left and right, left and right. Then I'll come back and be like, daggum. I'm like lockstep with ADP on like 65, 70% of my players. And then
Oh
there's
wow.
that 30% that we're going to be talking about tonight where it's like, I guess these are the guys that I really want or don't want.
Yeah, and now is the time of year where these players are going to be really be changing. Now that we're seeing them in live games, and injury reports are coming out, suspensions are coming out. So ADP
Mm,
is going to change a little bit, and more people are going to be actively drafting like seriously. So
yeah.
and early on, it's kind of weird. And the ECR, the expert consensus ranking, is earlier on. The ECR is I feel like better for drafts. But once you get closer to the season, doing the ADP can really tell you. But everybody's league is different. Like our league really likes running backs and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
you got to go. You just got to go with the flow.
And always pay attention to your league settings. Is it full PPR, half PPR? Rankings are going to change, but my rankings are based in half PPR settings, but it's not really going to count tonight because we're going
Double
to,
flex.
yeah. But we're mainly going to talk position 80. It doesn't really get into position stuff, but not going to really talk about quarterbacks tonight, and we're not going to talk about tight ends because I really feel like 80, right. There's a couple sleepers we might bring out when we do our sleeper episode in the quarterback tight end room, but you know, quarterbacks and tight ends are just you can pick the guys you want, but kind of hard
No,
to argue against ADP too
yeah,
much with quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like if I had to pick one quarterback, which ADP I would be much higher on, would probably Matthew Stafford. I mean, finishes at number two.
yeah.
Quarterback last year, number one in a lot of ways.
350 points. I think 350, 360 points. I mean,
Going at the QB 14
in the 10th
this
round,
year.
you're going to get 360 points. I mean, that's
He
no
might. He
brainer.
probably won't do it again. I mean, I understand that touchdowns are a little bit wishy washy year in and year out. And
Yeah.
Stafford, he hasn't really had a year like he had last year that often with the touchdown stuff. But that's the one quarterback I'll mention. But let's get back to the heart and soul of what this episode is going to be about. We're going to be talking about where I differ, and Ian, he hadn't made his rankings yet. I don't know what he's doing. We're like 3 weeks away from the draft. I mean, for our
Working,
fantasy drafts. Like, come on, dude. Like, do better.
working, working, and working on my Magic. I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering. I'm gonna just let my nerd out
Yo,
right here, bro. I've been dead. I've been in it hard, bro. The
and
addiction is back.
there goes half of the listeners right there. They're
But
gone.
it's a good game. It stimulates the brain, bro.
Yeah,
Anyways, I am slacking on my rankings, but just shoot me over yours, and I'll tell you where I differ, and we'll figure it out.
yeah.
How about
We're
that?
gonna make it kind of like a game. You're gonna have to talk me off the cliff, or you're gonna have to tell me that I'm just perfectly accurate
Yeah,
on these things. But if Matt was here, he's busy. He's got a whole lot of stuff going on right now, and he's going to be back on the podcast sooner rather than later. And we're going to be killing it through the season. So I know it's been kind of here and there through the off season, but just had a lot going on this off season. But we're going to be everybody's going to be all set. We're going to be ready to roll. So stick with us through the regular season. We got a lot of stuff, coming
yes, sir.
coming y'all's way. But we're going to get into this, Ian. And at wide receiver, we're going to kind of start at the top and go down the list to the bottom, like into the wide receiver 40s, stuff like that. We're going to go pretty deep here. There's only going to be about 10 receivers and a handful of running backs. So starting at the beginning, I told you about this like before we started the episode. If you have a couple spots when the first couple rounds, that means you're really down on a player because all the players are very good. So my first player I'm going to talk about that I'm higher on than ADP by 4 spots is Zay Flowers. I have him ranked ahead of Rashee Rice. I have him ranked ahead of T. Higgins, Chris Olave, and Emeka Egbuka. Out of the
What is
receivers
the
that I just named, I got
what
him
is the
ranked right
ADP
at
on? What is the ADP in your big? You didn't.
So he's going. So I got him at, like I said, wide receiver 12. He's going at wide receiver 16 right now in the back of the third round. I do have neighbors ahead of him, George Pickens and Nico, but he's the start of a tier for me. And I hate that I'm picking at the front of the third round. I'm picking at the start of the draft, so I might not be getting him unless I have to reach pretty heavy and get him at the beginning of the third when his ADP is going at the 312, so the last pick of the third round. So tell me what you think about Zay Flowers, ADP or Austin?
Um, I'd probably go Austin on this one. I mean, he's one of those guys I really like to have. I mean, I think he's gonna be great this year. Um,
Finished as a
have
wide receiver 7 last year. It was a week. He scored 203 points. It was kind of a weak year for receivers. We went over that in the previous one, but Lamar was hurt mostly on and off the field
yeah,
for most of the year last year, and the thing about Zay Flowers, why you can't rank him really high, the yardages are there, but the touchdowns are just not. And they got
Run
Derrick
first.
Henry, they got Lamar in
Lamar,
the red zone, so you can't.
run
It
first.
would
Yeah.
be it would be inappropriate to put him
Right.
uh, up any higher than that. I feel like, but 86 receptions for 1,200 yards last year with a hurt Lamar Jackson with 5 touchdowns. 5 is the most touchdowns. We had a rushing touchdown, so 6
Yeah. I see
is the
that.
most touchdowns he scored in a single season. But
Yeah.
he's getting better every year.
Yeah, I mean, I see that touchdown production going up. I mean, like you said, Lamar was out a lot. It is a run first offense, but it is a high scoring offense and with a good defense. And so you really want the guy on that team. And for a lot of years, that was Mark Andrews. But I think Zay Flowers has got to fill that role. I mean, Rashad Bateman's still there, still waiting on him to be what he's supposed to be. But I mean, Zay's got the contract, which a lot of times kind of scares me. I feel like players get a little lazy after they get that bag, but um, yeah, I don't. I think it's a good pick right there. I really like Zay. I like that since he come in, and I think it's make or break year for him, dude.
Yeah, he was a player I loved coming in anyway, but his yards per catch is his rookie year was at 11 yards per catch, and he could jumped up to 14 yards per catch. He was used.
Great.
He was used around the line of scrimmage his first year. Not anymore. He's running the full route tree, and like you said, Isaiah likely gone off of the offense. That opens up some things. They drafted some rookies, so just high on Zay Flowers. I know I'm not the only one, but
Zay Flowers is the T-Moo Tyreek.
the Timu Tyreek, I like it. I like Zay Flowers when he's coming out too, so I've liked him since
Yeah.
day one, since he got in
Yeah.
the league. But going to my next guy, this is going to be a guy that I'm lower on than ADP. It is Devontae Smith. I am 7 spots lower than ADP. I got him at wide receiver 18, going around Ted McMillan and Lad McConkey. And he is going at wide receiver 11, 12 right now, in between Malik Neighbors and Chris Olave and Rasheed Rice in ADP. So, where you
That's
at?
a hard one, dude. Because I guess if I had to answer the question, I would go ADP. Um, because everything tells you all the signs point to him having a great year, more production. I mean, quarterback didn't change. Very few things changed. The only thing that changed is that the alpha receiver is out of there, and they obviously believe in this guy, you know. And I mean, like we said, a run first offense again, but they're going to throw the ball, and the Slim Reaper has proved that he could do it. We're just going to see if he can handle the workload, handle the double coverage, you know, be able to adjust, adapt, and overcome. But I haven't really been bullish on him, but I can't really give you a reason why you shouldn't be. I mean, I guess people just are tired of the Eagles, but I mean, I think this guy's got a good chance. And then, you know, he's got a rookie in Makai Lemon that is.
Haven't been practicing.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say that'd be more of a subterfuge to keep defenses from completely focusing on him. It'd be nice if he did have another guy that they could focus on, but that might be the thing that he really have to overcome is getting focused. But yeah, I mean, I think he's a good pick. I think he's a good pick. Chris Olave's right there. It's a worse offense. Who are the other guys around him?
ADP wise or
Yeah,
mine?
ADP.
ADP is Malik Neighbors is 11, Smith is 12, and then Olave, and then Rasheed Rice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really like the other guys there, but I mean, it's a good argument for him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know BDGE made a point. Nick from BDGE was saying that he had to get some things off his chest. That he said that he thinks Devontae Smith could be this year's JSN because we all know Devontae Smith's a good receiver. I'm not arguing that, but
okay.
his point was that the Seahawks were dead last in passing percentage last year, but still produced the number one receiver. And Philly, obviously, they're not going to be top of the league in passes, like
No.
passing percentage. They're going to run the ball a lot, but if it's just one guy, that's fine. But I think AJ Brown's a better receiver than Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown has had a couple bad years, 2 years in a row in the same kind of offense. Finishes wide receiver 11 last year, 14. AJ Brown, this is 14 and half PPR, and then 18 the year before, only 13 games played. But I feel like you, you know, you side on the side of ADP there, which is fine. I I just probably won't end up with Devontae Smith on any of my teams, and it's not like I hate him. I don't have him. He's still
Right.
in the same
It's just
tier as
like I
them
feel like it's
guys.
just where he's going. Like Rasheed Rice and even Olave is interesting. Malik Neighbors, he's in a weird spot. If he was going a round or two later, especially if he goes, if he falls a little bit, then
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like he's a value. But yeah, it's hard to pick him over some of those guys he's at.
you would probably pick him over Ted McMillan and Igbuka though. If I had to raise him a couple spots, I could see myself maybe doing that, getting him up to 16. But
Even if Buka
I
makes a
don't.
good argument, because he's kind of
Yeah.
got the same situation. The alpha guy there is gone. Buka is they're kind of the same player. So if you're high on them, well, I guess they don't have as much as a run offense, but yeah, I mean it's a lot of the same situation with those two guys. But yeah, it's
Well,
that's a good one.
here we go on to the next one. We talked about him a little bit in the last episode. Jameson Williams is my next receiver. Where do you think I have him, higher or lower than ADP?
You probably have him higher than ADP.
Yeah, he's 5 spots higher than ADP. I got him going between after Garrett Wilson and Jalen Waddle, right before Devontae Adams. That one's close. But ADP has him under Luther Burden, under Terry McLaurin, Luther Burden, Devontae Adams, and DJ Moore and Mike Evans. DJ Moore's not sniffing that range to me, but we'll talk about him later.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. But yeah, JMO, the only guy I'd take over him that you
Adams.
rattled off there is Adams. Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just got the pedigree, and I mean, he's got the best quarterback in the league, arguably, and a great defense, and I mean, everything is just perfect. I mean, he's a touchdown machine. But JMO put up some good stats at the end of the last year. I mean, like you said, we touched on him in the last episode, so we won't get into it too much, but he's definitely one of those wide receiver twos that has wide receiver one upside and a great offense. They were super injured last year and they still were incredible. So the sky's the limit for that guy. I think he's definitely one of the big risers, and I think deservingly so. We've been
So
talking about it
you
forever.
so you agree with Austin on this one?
Yeah, yeah. I think J-Bo deserves to be up there, especially like going back the guys that are going around him. I just feel more comfortable. I mean, if I take like an Amon Ra or if you got Gibbs or
Yeah, probably
something
get
like
to.
that, obviously you don't want to do that. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely. But if you take him, you can't take Laporta later. That's something that I've read
That's
because I
true.
really like Laporta too. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
kind of
a little strategy that goes into it because there's a lot of Lions players that you're going to want on your team, and you might just have to pass on them. But the previous 2 years, like I said, he's going at wide receiver 27 in ADP. He finished at wide receiver 10 last year, wide receiver 19 the year before. So
on the
you know,
up and to the right
yeah. So let's just keep going, JMO.
on a great
Um,
offense with a great quarterback. I mean,
the Lions have the best schedule in the NFL too. They have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. But we'll move off of Jameson. We talked about him a lot last episode. Guess on this one, I'll give you the name. Is he higher or lower? Carnell Tate.
you're probably lower than ADP on that guy.
You are wrong. I got him 4 spots higher than ADP. I got him going at wide receiver 27. He is going
What round is
at
that?
he's going at wide receiver 31 in ADP. That is the 612 in ADP.
Okay.
So I would probably have him around the the top of the 6th round. So, you know, maybe
Okay. Okay.
it's about the
So
601,
like your
the 605
third
range.
third receiver, second at best. If that's your first receiver at pick six, I mean, it's tough. But you're thinking like second, third receiver.
Yeah, I got him. as my wide receiver 27. He's behind Mike Evans and right ahead of Parker Washington. Um, and ADP has him below Parker Washington and above Marvin Harrison, um,
Okay.
under Adunze and DJ Moore, players like that. So 4 spots ahead, nothing crazy, but I do believe that Cam Ward is going to take a decent step up in his second year, and I think the Titans are going to be an average football team that could win 7 or 8 games. And getting drafted in the first round, he went in the fourth pick in the NFL draft to the Titans. They're going to use the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can kind of hate on Cam Ward from last year. He didn't play well, but the second half of the year, after the bye week, 10 touchdowns to 1 interception, he started being more efficient with the ball. And I just think that you put Cam Ward into a situation last year where your number one receiver is Elick Iomanor, however you want to say his last name,
Yeah.
Calvin
He was a
Ridley.
rookie, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a rookie. Like he was not in a situation to succeed last year, and the head coach got fired halfway through the season. Like
Yeah.
it was just a lost year for the Titans. I think this year's going to be. I'm not projecting them to win the division, nothing like this, but they're going to
Right.
be a formidable opponent where they're going to hang in games, and
Yeah.
they got Wandale over there now. I think the
Yeah.
offense is going to improve a lot.
Yeah. I agree, man. And yeah, Cardell Tate, I feel like, and I want to touch on Tony Pollard, but I'm going to go to Cardell Tate right now. Um, I think he's a great rookie to target because I like to target these rookies because you can get them. It's going to be the cheapest you can get some of these guys for the rest of their career. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he is a shoe in for that. I mean, he came from Ohio State, wide receiver university. I mean, they produce so many guys that are in the league right now and just killing it. And I don't see why he could be any different. I mean, like you said, there's the argument for the team that he's on. I mean, what they win 4 games last year, and but after watching Netflix's Quarterback and seeing Cam Ward and how how passionate he was about playing football, and I put a lot of that kind of stuff into these players and into these teams because that has a lot to do with it, man. Because all these guys are great. It's what's up here and what's in here that separates them a lot of times. You know what I mean? It's whoever's gonna go for it. And I feel like Cam Ward will, and Cardell Tate, I feel like is a good person, to take a chance on. Just like I was saying, Jadarian Price is too. For different reasons. I mean, I think Cardell Tate has the ability where Jadarian Price has the team, but yeah, I think if you're gonna take a shot at one of these rookie receivers, I think he's a guy. Wanda Robinson will be there, who I really like too. But yeah, Cam Ward is great. He might hit a sophomore slump. I mean, we can't hold it against him this year, but I think he is gonna do good. And Cardell Tate might be a big reason for that.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on. We'll move on to the next guy. It seems like we both like Tate there, but the ADP was kind of, like I said, 4 spots ahead. I'm sure there's a couple guys you might like more than Tate there, but it's going to be a guy that I'm not necessarily reaching for, but I'll take a little bit ahead of ADP. But next guy on the list, Terry McLaurin. I got him at wide receiver 29. I'm 8 spots. 6 spots, sorry. 6 spots below ADP on Terry McLaurin. Stephon Diggs coming over. Stephon Diggs just had a 1,000-yard receiving year with New England. Jaden Daniels, a little bit fragile in my opinion. But he could come back and have another great year. This would be the worst year that Terry McLaurin's ever had if he finishes where I have him ranked. He finishes wide receiver 28 in 2023 and wide receiver 6 his first year with Jaden Daniels. So this one I could see myself being wrong on, but I had to put him somewhere. And really, there's just guys that I want more. I want Mike Evans. I want Christian Watson more. I want Luther Burden. I really like Parker Washington this year. It's nothing that I hate about Terry McLaurin. It's just the fact that I think that he is past his prime, and I don't feel that great about the Commanders' offense. And with Stephon Diggs coming over, he's a possession receiver. Terry McLaurin is a possession receiver at this point in his career. He can still get down the field, and take the top off the defense sometimes. But I would not blame you at all if you totally disagree with me on this.
Yeah, dude. I totally want to disagree with you, and I disagree with some of it. But yeah, I mean, I think Terry's a great receiver, but it's just one of those guys. I feel like kind of like Garrett Wilson that just it just hasn't all been there, and he's getting a little older into it. And the main reason I'm kind of off of him, if he's there, if he falls in drafts, I he's definitely a lock for me. But like we were talking, Jamison Williams right there, Devontae's a little lower than him. I mean, he's around Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle. I would pick Zay over him. Jalen, I'd pick him over Jalen. And Luther Burton. But
I think you pick him around where ADP is.
yeah, yeah, I probably would. I'd
He's
probably go more.
after
Probably go
in
more
between
ADP for
Garrett
him.
Wilson, in between Garrett Wilson and Luther Burden.
Yeah, because he is a really good receiver, and like you said, I mean, he finished sixth with Jaden Daniel. Jaden Daniel's a great quarterback. I feel like last year they were both hurt, and
They never played together really.
yeah, and so I think they have a great connection, and Terry could be one of those guys, and he's definitely someone you could take if you're not really feeling Burton or Jamison Williams, and some of the other guys are gone. I think he's super safe floor with Terry McLaurin.
Okay. So, I'm a little lower. You're probably with consensus. I think you a couple of receivers going under him. I think you would take over him. There's Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, maybe Mike Evans or Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin.
Okay. Yeah, I got Mike Evans a couple spots higher. I got him at 26 and Terry McLaurin at 29. Probably would have kept it the same if Ricky Pearsall didn't get hurt. They would be lockstep together. But
That's
since
true.
Pearsall went down, I had to move Evans up.
Yeah, it's just he's going into a new offense, whereas Terry's completely familiar with the quarterback and the offense. So, I mean, Mike's a weathered veteran, so that isn't a huge thing. But sorry, but yeah, that's the separator for me.
Well,
I mean, if Mike was in the same offense as he was with the same scheme and same everything, he'd be the obvious over Terry. But I think Terry gets that leg up on him just because the familiarity. But Mike Evans, like you said, I mean, he's looking like an alpha, but I don't know if he can be an alpha anymore.
Yeah, maybe Mike Evans still got a little bit left in the tank.
What you call them? Super receivers.
Super receivers, man. That's Mike Evans in his career. A super receiver.
Can Terry still be a super receiver?
Terry? I don't know. I don't know if he ever was a super receiver, to be honest. Not in Mike. He finished 6 one time, but everybody kind of has years like that. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't really want Terry this year. But we're gonna move on to my tier number 7, starting at wide receiver 31. This is going to be around your 7th round of drafts, and this is kind of a range where I like to take shots at receivers because there's, as you can tell, I got in this range. This is my biggest discrepancies between ADP. Right. So I got three receivers in a row. We can talk about them one by one if you want or whatever. But I got Cortland Sutton 8 spots higher than ADP. I got Michael Wilson 10 spots higher than ADP. And I have Jaden Reed 10 spots higher than ADP. I'll tell you some guys that are going around. And right here, DJ Moore is sandwiched in. This is where DJ Moore fits in for me. He's in between Michael Wilson and Jaden Reed. I got him 8 spots below ADP. But Cortland Sutton, he's at wide receiver 31. He's going at wide receiver 41 or 39. I got 8 spots. My bad. Wide receiver 39 in ADP. He's going around Alec Pierce, Stephon Diggs, Josh Downs. Do you see him more in that range, or do you see him more where I have him ranked around Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas, Carnell Tate area?
Yeah, I definitely 100% agree with you on this one. I think Cortland Sutton is undervalued right now, and somebody that you can get as a secure receiver, especially if you go heavy running back early. Um, yeah, I mean it's on in preseason. I mean he wasn't with Bo Nix, but he was getting feathered with stuff, and he's got some sure hands, and yeah, I think he's yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I think he's a little undervalued, and I think you get a good player out of Cortland Sutton on a great
Yeah.
offense.
Okay. I'm glad you came to the dark side again, and you like 100% agreement with me on
Well,
that one.
the thing is, I'm about to completely disagree with you on this next one.
I got Michael Wilson 10 spots higher. I got him ranked three receivers higher than Marvin Harrison. I got Harrison at 35. I personally think that Michael Wilson's the better receiver and that he is just going to. I really think he's going to eat. Michael Wilson, I can get up his stats last year, but put around where he's going in normal drafts. Well, I kind of just said it. He was around that Cortland Sutton, Stephon Diggs range, and I have him a good bit ahead of that. I got him right around Parker Washington and Christian Watson um, in that area. But Michael
Right.
Wilson, I just want to know your opinion. We could have used him in our last episode as just a polarizing player based on what he did at the end of last year. I mean, just looking at his statistics with Jacoby Brissett, who I think is a competent quarterback, but Michael Wilson finished at wide receiver 13 last year
Hmm.
with Trey McBride eating the way he did. I know Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals, they passed the ball more than anybody in the league last year. They were number one in total passes attempted. But is it really going to change that much this year? Are they really going to not throw the ball? I mean, and the fact that I look at him as the number one receiver on this team, it seems a little late to be drafting Michael Wilson at wide receiver 41, where ADP's got him.
Yeah. Um. So we'll agree to disagree. I think going off. So this is what a lot of times we do in fantasy football, and you have really no choice but to do this. Is we draft off of last year. Go off last year's stats and what they did last year, and that's all you really can do. Nobody knows what the future holds. Um, but when it comes to situations like Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison, I'm go with Marvin Harrison on this one. I mean, the stats don't show it, but I just feel like he's got the pedigree. I mean, I
We
feel like
can't
he's
hang
got
our hat
that.
on that forever.
I know we can't, but I'm giving him this year, and I really think it's going to be a better year for him. And I hope. I mean, he played 12 games last year. He didn't do great. He's kind of feels like he's down on it, and Michael Wilson has all the opportunity. At this point, I definitely feel like it's Michael Wilson's job to lose, but I do think Marvin's going to come into his own this year, and I feel like that's why I have Wilson way lower because I think Marvin's going at a good spot, and maybe it's just hopeful thinking because I want some shares of him, but I want some shares because I just think he's going to do good. I think he's due. I mean, he showed us flashes of greatness, and yeah, just I'm feeling Marvin. So yeah, I'm off of Michael, but he's got a great argument for being a wide receiver one that you can get kind of late in drafts.
I just kind of believe that the Cardinals, when you draft a guy as early as they did Marvin Harrison, you're going to give him all the opportunity to succeed. And his rookie year, not poo pooing on his rookie year. I mean, he was fine as a rookie. A little disappointing for where he was drafted in the NFL draft, but still a decent rookie year. But
Yeah.
when you draft a guy that early, he's going to be the face of your offense. You're going to try to make him the face of your offense, is what I should say. But
Well, now he doesn't
after
have to be. Now he doesn't have to be. I mean,
they don't have to cater to him anymore. Is what I'm saying. Trey
right.
McBride is the best receiver on their team, and I think
The
that
number
the
one running back
Cardinals.
picked in the draft. I mean, now they got Jeremiah Love. All the attention, it doesn't have to be paid to him anymore. I mean, you get Trey and Love. I mean, I feel like that's going to open up opportunities for him. So, I mean, they
Yeah,
definitely got talent on that team, but I think if they put it all together, they could be a hit squad, bro.
it's an eye test thing for Michael Wilson. It isn't just where he finished last year, because if I had him ranked where he finished last year, he would be up there with Rasheed Rice. But I'm not doing that now. I had to pump the brakes on that. But
Yeah,
I just think he's the best receiver on the team, and you think Marv is, and there's a bet to be made there between us this season. I can
let's
I
do it.
can see it.
Let's do it.
DJ Moore's my next one, 8 spots below ADP. I got him at wide receiver 33. So he's going around wide receiver 25, and Josh Allen doesn't support receivers. That's my main argument. I think Khalil Shakir is actually the best receiver on this team. DJ Moore is the veteran who everybody loves, but he couldn't
The
succeed.
name, the
He couldn't
flash.
succeed in an up and coming offense last year when he was getting beat out by just rookies. I mean, he didn't get beat out by Luther Burden, but eventually he did. And Roma Dunze was running shit at the beginning of the season. Colson Loveland, DJ Moore was the forgotten piece in that offense last year.
Yeah.
And this is a type of offense where people get fooled every single year on Bills receivers. I mean, Khalil Shakir's a good player. He still never finishes as a wide receiver 2, barely a wide receiver 3. And Josh Allen's going to run around the goal line. James Cook's going to score hella touchdowns. And DJ Moore is not going to be your touchdown guy. I mean, remember when Keon Coleman was supposed to be the guy?
Yep.
It didn't happen. There's just
Ever since Stephon Diggs left,
This is Amari Cooper all over again. This is Amari Cooper going to the Bills all over again, and Amari Cooper did not work out, and I don't think DJ Moore is going to work out.
Yeah, no. I mean, if I could describe DJ Moore in 2 words, it would be fool's gold. I mean, he's always been one of those names, and I feel like this is a good example. Like, I feel like Terry McLaurin has been more effective than DJ Moore, but is not talked about near as much. And I don't understand whether I've always been off on DJ Moore. I mean, he's had 6 jobs in 5 years. I mean, not really. I don't know, but he's going to a bunch of different teams. And whereas, like you said, I mean, Khalil Shakir is the guy that's been there, and he's kind of underrated.
I like Shakir.
I do too. I mean, I've taken him as a late sleeper in a lot of drafts. I mean, he's there, and he's the obvious Bills' #1 receiver. Like I've told you many times, I do not like receivers,
and it still doesn't even matter if he's the #1.
It doesn't, because I mean, that was the other point I was kind of getting to. After Rodgers lost Devontae Adams, it kind of reminds me of that type of offense. Like, they lost Stephon, and now there's still a lot of passing, but it's spread out throughout the whole offense. You know what I mean?
Like Matt Collins some weeks it's just whoever.
Yeah,
Josh Allen's gonna throw to whoever.
Right, and that's where, and it's successful. But Khalil Shakir has been that steady rock, just like, what was that running back in New England that was there forever? He was always like the committee.
James White.
James White, yeah. You never really wanted him in fantasy, but he always ended up having the production, just enough to take away from the other guy. And I just feel like it's kind of one of those type of people, man. Like, they never do. He's never going to win you the league, but he's always going to have,
some games,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're both down on DJ Moore, so you agree with Sutton, you disagree with Michael Wilson, you agree with me on DJ Moore. Don't know where you're going to end here, but Jaden Reed, I got 10 spots higher than ADP. I got him at wide receiver 34. Jaden Reed's never finished, other than last year when he only played like 6 games. He's never finished lower than that. I get why people don't like him. He doesn't play all the snaps. He hasn't played in 2 wide receiver sets, but the Packers are going to be more concentrated this year, and they got Tucker Kraft there, who I think is going to be great. Matthew Golden, I just don't know, and Christian Watson, he's injury prone, just like Jaden Reed is, but I can't confidently say that Christian Watson is the best receiver on the Packers. I think if he's healthy, he probably is, but I think Jaden Reed's a very good talent. But where I got him right around Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas, DK Metcalf, Jordan Tyson. Where ADP's got him, they got him around Makai Lemon, Matthew Golden, Michael Pittman. I see Michael Pittman down there. I'd rather have Pittman than Metcalf, but we can talk about that later. But what range do you feel more comfortable with Jaden Reed? Do you feel more comfortable with him around Brian Thomas and Chris Godwin, Jordan Tyson, or around where he's at an ADP with Makai Lemon, Matthew Golden, Wandale, Pittman?
The latter. I like the latter. Because like you said, I mean, uh, he finished wide receiver 23 rookie year, 26 in 2024, and then he only played 7 games last year. I feel
Don't you
like
think his
he's
snap percentage should go up this season with the loss of with
yes,
Wicks?
yes. I think it is, and I'm trying not to be biased or bullish on this because I do have him on my dynasty team, and I want him to be good. So I'm trying not to let that affect my saying this, but
I have
yeah,
him ranked over Marvin Harrison.
I think he's a great value
Yeah,
later. You have him ranked over Marvin Harrison. I would take Harrison over him.
I
Um,
would assume most people would.
yeah, I would take Harrison over him. But I feel like if he does what you're talking about, if it does get more centralized and he because they don't have anybody there that's the guy. Like you said, I mean, it's Christian Watson, Matthew Golden, this guy drafted early, or Jaden Reed, and I mean Romeo Dobbs is gone. He was ended up kind of being the guy, but was never
Yeah, I forgot to mention him. He's gone.
never
Wick Sandoz.
never super valuable, you know. But Jaden Reed, I mean, he's a little. I mean, he's 5'11", 187. You know, a little on the smaller side, but still, I think he could be super productive. But I like him better later between because I mean I think I would take Tate over him. I take that risk on that
Yeah,
rookie.
Tate's a good bit higher for me. I mean, Tate's.
Who were you saying was around him on yours?
I got him above Marvin Harrison, Jordan Tyson, Brian Thomas. Um,
Right, I would take Harrison. Yeah,
ADP's got him like he's behind QJ, Addison, Pittman, and he's before
right.
Lemon, Golden, Wandale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd take him. Yeah, that's where I take him.
Okay.
I think I like him right there. Yeah.
I'll be reaching for me some Jaden Reed. Can't have all the Packers, man, but Jaden Reed's probably the one that I would be targeting the most this year at ADP, obviously. So we're gonna get on to running backs. I don't have as many running backs, so it ain't gonna take as long. But I'm up. I'm up on Wandale. I'm 8 spots higher on Wandale, and I am 12 spots below ADP on DK Metcalf. Um, so
Same.
we're gonna get on. We'll get on to the running backs right
We're
here,
gonna
but
eat. I feel like that's before you move on. I feel like that's going to be one thing we're going to end up eating. I feel like out of all the takes that we have, being so low on DK
maybe.
could be the one that is
Yeah,
because we're both just like I don't see it. I don't see it. But
I
it's
just
Aaron
think it's.
Rodgers.
I think it's going to be running backs catching the ball. I think it's going to be Pittman a lot. I mean, I'm way higher on Pittman than
I
I
have
am
no idea what it's going to
DK.
be because it's Mike McCarthy and Aaron, and I mean it's
Aaron just don't push the ball down the field anymore, and I think that's where
that's a good point.
DK Metcalf succeeds. He'll probably what's going to save him is touchdowns. If he scores, 10 touchdowns this year,
Yeah,
he's not going to finish. He's not going to finish where I have him ranked, but I just think it's getting a little bit more crowded with Pittman coming there. And Pittman's just a target hog. Pittman's always kind of one of them guys that's undervalued anyway.
yeah, like Bobby
So,
Trees and like Tyler Lockett
and
type dude.
and Metcalf's always overvalued. So give me just give me Pittman. I think Rogers is gonna feature him more, or I just think he's gonna
All right.
prefer that. But all right, let's get on to
Without
running
further
backs.
ado,
First one on the list, we're gonna start at tier 3. I got Derrick Henry 4 spots higher than ADP.
yeah,
I don't
right.
understand why people are like in a lot of these Yahoo mocks and just even all the mocks, he's
Any
falling to the late second, and this may be his last year with the Ravens.
dude, Nico Collins before him, even CeeDee
AJ
Lamb
Brown,
before him, AJ Brown before him is crazy. Saquon, I can see. Chase
yeah.
Brown has an argument. Genty probably shouldn't, but I get it. But I mean, I don't get it. Like, I I don't pick him in the mocks for the most part because I'm like he's not going to be there. You
Yeah.
know,
And what's going to be different? I mean, is he falling because of age? I mean, he was like the
I
RB4
guess
last year, and I just they they paid him years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. This is kind of his last year. I'm not 100% sure, but if it's his last year on the Baltimore contract, but they have no reason this year to save him for future seasons. Like this is the
exactly
year out of all years where they're just like, we really can run him into the
300
ground even
carries.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
300 carries. Yeah,
even though they do that
and
anyway, but
and I still feel like honestly I can say I feel like he could handle 300 carries if he needed to, dude. I
well,
mean,
he's going
this
to handle that.
guy, he's like Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football NFL Network. Like this guy is the combination of the perfect genetics with the perfect work ethic, and it's just a very rare specimen. And I mean, it's one of those players like Aaron Rodgers, like Tom Brady, that I feel like is in that realm of we are super lucky to be living through this. It's like watching Emmitt Smith. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he's going to break Emmitt Smith's record, but I'm just saying he's one of those polarizing players of our generation. And this guy shows no signs of slowing down. He's on a better team.
This
Um,
this is
and
my argument, and I mean,
his workouts are insane.
yeah, he's. I got him at running back 7. I got all the main guys ahead of him: Gibbs, Bijan, Taylor, CMC, James Cook, and I do love Chase Brown. Chase Brown's at 6
Yeah.
for me. He's only 2 spots ahead of
If you
ADP
take
for
him
me.
before Henry, I get it.
But if you look at the guys that are going ahead of him in ADP, you're taking Genty on the Raiders. You're taking Achan on the Dolphins. You're taking Kenneth Walker coming over to a team he hasn't been on, who's never finished
Right.
as high as Derrick Henry has. And I feel disrespectful having him at 7. I would really feel disrespectful having him at 11, where he is
Yeah.
in normal ADP.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't think he's where he's going to get drafted at all.
Yeah,
And if he
not
does
in
end
our
up coming
leagues.
back, if Derrick Henry comes to you, I'm gonna say this right now. If Derrick Henry comes to you in the second round, take him.
I will not be wrong about this take unless Henry gets hurt. If Henry plays all season,
Right.
he's not going to
Well,
finish
that's
at
that's every
11.
take that we give. That's every take we give. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, but
Everything
I'm
we
I'm
do
super
is
confident about Derrick Henry
yeah,
finishing ahead of Genty and Achan.
yeah.
Uh,
Injury. Okay, I will say injury history does play a role in our choices, but whether or not they're going to get injured in the future, it's just
Derrick Henry
you
don't get
can't
injured.
speculate. He has a great workout. He
Yeah.
takes care of himself.
Well, the next one on my list, I got Javonte Williams, 4 spots ahead of ADP. I got him at running back 13, so I have him behind Saquon, Walker, Hampton, Genty, Achan, and then here comes Williams. The ones that ADP has ahead of them, they have Jeremiah Love, Kyron, Brees Hall, and Jacobs ahead of Javonte. So I just have him ranked really above them 4. I got him ranked ahead of Love, William, Kyron, Brees, and Jacobs.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this is the guy you stole from me. I mean, I feel like you weren't even on him, and then I feel like I talked you into him, and then it's a great reason. I mean, and you understand, and you get it. And he was the guy last year that I was like, I should have got Javante. All the signs were there. Great offense. I mean, coming from that committee though, you never know. And Pollard was a
Yeah,
upset, so
yeah,
but
Pollard
he
was a
just
good thing.
you know but Javante just went there and balled out, and I don't see why he can't do it again. And he's going in a great spot, and I'm right there with you. I mean, I take him over. Jeremiah Love is tough. Jeremiah Love is where I'm like Javante or Jeremiah, and depending on who I have before them, like if I do have like a Derrick Henry or a Jonathan Taylor, I might go Jeremiah. But if I've taken like a receiver or something, I think I'd
You need
rather have
Teddy.
that. Yep, I'd rather. Yeah,
Well, comparing him to like Kyron, who I have ranked in lockstep with ADP. Kyron, I got him at 14, and he is at 14 in ADP. So I'm not hating on Kyron, but just to compare the two, they both teams have 2 alpha receivers. They're both good offenses. The Rams are maybe a little bit better, but Devontae last year, 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. Most of them touchdowns came at the first half of the season because the Cowboys just fell off. CD was hurt.
Yeah,
a decent amount of the year, which maybe put a little bit more pressure on Javante. But receiving work, they're about the same. They both don't succeed that much in the receiving game with Kyron. So the reason I have him ranked ahead of him is just the fact that Kyron is going to be splitting some carries with Blake Corum, and Javante is not going to be splitting carries with anybody. So 4.7 a carry last year. I mean,
that's
it's
that's
fine.
elite. I mean, I feel like that's in the elite area. If you're getting
They got a
five,
good
yeah,
offensive line.
yeah, yeah, they do, man.
And he's safe.
And he's super safe, dude. I mean, on a great offense, arguably one of the highest scoring offenses in football, and that team might be dirty this year. They're putting their defense together, but yeah, I think it's super safe pick. A guy, like you said, he's not competing for a spot. He's got the back. He's got the legs. He obviously does, and he's got the chip on his shoulder. And Kyron is, you could arguably say all the same things about him, but he does have that guy that's behind him that is really good and can produce as a running back one if he goes down, and so that brings his value down. But um, yeah, if they were sitting there together, and I had to choose between them, man, it's hard.
And
I want
Jacobs is there too.
I'd pick him over Jacobs, but if both of them are gone, I'm picking Jacobs. But
They're in the same tier for me. They're
they
all
are, yeah, I
yeah
mean they are. But I would take both of them over Jacobs. But I should probably take Jacobs over Kyron too, because he doesn't really have anybody fight for his job either
yeah.
on a great team. I mean, there's no reason.
But Jacobs slowed down last year. I'm just worried about he averaged like 3.9 a carry last year. He didn't look good to me, but I understand like he is the only one. Like it's not gonna be Marshawn Lloyd. So
Right, right.
Jacobs should be fine, but it's just gonna be touchdowns for Jacobs, and he'll
Which
be
is huge.
efficient around. He'll be
Touchdowns are great.
efficient. Yep. But going on to like the late third, early fourth, and all the way through the fifth, I'm pretty much in lockstep with ADP. I mean, I might have some guys one or two spots ahead, but there's really nothing there. In that round, I got so my rankings would go Jeremiah Love, Scattaboo, Brees, ETN, David Montgomery, Swift, Travion, Bucky, Tootin, Jadarian Price. And I'm pretty much like right there with
Yeah,
ADP. I
yeah,
don't really
that's
have a strong take with them guys.
yeah. All those guys are. Yeah, I feel the same about all of them. I mean, they're interchangeable a lot. I mean, they both have arguments for why they could be better or worse, but I mean, in reality, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's pick your target.
So I didn't differ much there, but at RB 26, this is my biggest difference. I got J.K. Dobbins 7 spots higher than ADP. I got him going as my running back 26. I just don't believe in RJ Harvey in the slightest. J.K. Dobbins and ADP is going at running back 33. He's going in between Chuba and Blake Corum, and I have him going around Jadarian Price and Jalen Warren and Ramondre Stevenson. So, I mean,
I would take him under Jadarian, over Stevenson. I would probably
Warren,
take him over, yeah, all those other guys, because he is, as it stands, you know, the RB1 on that team. It's going to be
a
sharing time
great,
with RJ. Going to be sharing time with RJ Harvey, but like you said, I mean, RJ Harvey lost that job. I mean, well. Either way, he's J.K. Dobbins definitely has the physical ability, and we were super high on him. Then he blew his legs
always
out.
gets hurt. Always
He
gets
blew
hurt.
his legs out. So that's the main thing that kills me. But he does have more ability and does have a claim to the throne on a really good offense, And
Yeah.
I think I'd take him over all those, second guys. Ramondre, he's kind of the leader in New England too. Um, I don't really want to mess with that. Travion's better than RJ. Uh, who was the other guys that you called out right there because I feel like I had already.
Chuba, Rico Dowdle,
Yeah, Chuba, that's another
Jonathan
one.
Brooks.
I'd definitely take him. And then Jonathan Brooks, I'd take him over Brooks because I feel like Brooks is going to break out, but um, I feel like JK has a
Yeah.
better opportunity situation going.
So you might as well say from week 1, he got hurt in week 11 and didn't play the rest of the year. But from week 1 to week 10, he was averaging 50% of the snap share, which isn't crazy, but the attempts is what gets me 16, 14, 11, 16, 20 attempts, 14 attempts, 14, 15, 15,
Yeah,
18.
that's
I mean,
great.
the attempts are there. Scored 4 touchdowns in the first 4 weeks of the season last year. Um, he's always been efficient. I mean, yards per carry, he's always up there with the big dogs. Averaged 5 yards per carry last year in the games that he played. The
Yeah,
Broncos are
that's elite.
the number one ranked offensive line in the NFL right now. So
You
to
really
get a
just, you literally just
yeah,
we both talked me into JK. I mean, yeah, I like him way more now that we've talked about him. He really kind of
I
wasn't on my
love
radar, but
I
I mean,
love
all
me
those
some
stats are
John.
elite. I mean, 5 yards a carry, over 14 attempts. I mean, that's what you want to see, dude. That's all like bell cow stuff, man. And yeah, if he could just stay healthy, he's
He'll
gonna
be
be the
fine.
man. So I feel like where you're getting him this year is good.
A steal.
Yeah, still, I mean, his injury history is why he's there. So a lot of people overlook him, which is understandable. But where he's at, I mean, he's not going to be your RB1. So
Yeah. And we'll end it on this guy. I really don't know your take. I didn't know if you were going to like Dobbins or not, but I don't know your take at all on this one because this guy is either getting picked with a lot of confidence or people don't want him. I'm one of the guys that don't really. I could see myself picking him if he fell because he should be a bell cow. But I got Quinshawn Judkins 5 spots lower than ADP. I got him at RB27. He's going ahead of Bucky Irving. He's going at RB22 ahead of Bucky Irving and Tootin and Henderson. I would much rather and Jadarian Price. I would much rather have all them guys ahead of them. I did a little study on running backs last year that received over 200 carries, and every single one of them finished in the top 24 running backs last year, other than Woody Marks and Quinshawn Judkins. And I don't see the offense getting much better. He can receive a lot of carries. He can receive a lot of work. I don't think it's going to matter that much. He received the work last year. He did get hurt at the end of the year, but he's. I think Dylan Sampson is going to be very involved catching passes for this team as a pass catching running back, and I think the Browns are going to be playing from behind a lot. So they got Monken over there who he would even take Derrick Henry off the field and put Justice Hill on the field when the Ravens were losing, and the Ravens were always winning, but the Browns are not always going to be winning. So I think you're going to see a little bit of Dylan Sampson a lot more than you want to.
unfortunately, I think you might be right on that, man. But I do like Quinshawn Judkins. I mean, great running back, come from a great pedigree. He did produce very well last year, and he's right there in that spot where I always consider taking him. But it's like David Montgomery's right there. I think I'd rather have Demont, Jadarian Price. I usually end up taking. Um, but if the guys I want aren't there, I mean, like you said, I mean, he's a starting running back, got 200 carries. Yeah, he wasn't super productive with it, but um, I can't speak for how great their offense is going to be this year. And like you said, I mean, Monken's not definitely not my favorite coordinator, but I think he's a solid floor pick, if nothing else.
Yeah, you're probably right there. I got him at 27. He's like I said, he's
I
higher
ended
than
up
that.
picking him up
22.
last year. I don't know if I drafted him or picked him up early, but he ended up being one of my starters towards the end of the year. I
Yeah.
had a lot of injuries and stuff, but I mean, I felt super solid about starting him every week.
Well,
So
where I have him isn't necessarily like a. He's not a starter. He's a
right,
flex
no,
play for me.
yeah,
I got him ranked ahead of Jalen Warren, Ramondre, Monungai.
but I would take
Um,
him over Bucky. I would take him over Bucky. Um,
I would not.
I would take him over Swift, Tootin. I would take Jadarian Price. I would take him over Jalen Warren. Um, but yeah, I just because like he said, I mean he's a bell cow back. Well, you do believe Dylan Sampson's going to be getting a lot more work, which you might be right. But in a perfect world, I think yeah he could eat as much as you feed him and do really well. But we all know how the Browns are, and look what happened to Nick Chubb, dude. So
He was great. He was great for the longest time.
yeah,
Love Nick Chubb. Wish he was still on this list of
yeah,
running backs that we're talking about tonight. But he was a damn good dog.
damn good dog.
Well, yeah, that's it for me. I don't really have anything where I differ off of ADP much. Is there any running backs that you want to talk about that you're kind of targeting later in the draft that you don't necessarily
Yeah,
have to have, but this guy you want?
for sure. That's gonna be the RB. Looks like 40. Mr. Jordan Mason for the Minnesota Vikings.
I like that.
I
I
mean
got him at 38.
Aaron Jones is 38 ADP. He's 40. I think I have it on ADP. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
they're right there together. And I mean, Aaron Jones, I feel like is definitely the guy they're gonna focus on, but he is older, and Jordan Mason has proven to be, very efficient when he
average.
well efficient, but I feel like it's his job to take, and I feel like he could take it, and I feel like it's a good pick back there. I've taken him over Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
Like he hasn't been amazing, but uh, I like him. I like him there.
I completely agree with that one. Jordan Mason could be like the Javante of last year. I mean, it has the potential to be a very good offense if Kyler could play a decent quarterback. That's all they need. They don't need great quarterback. They need decent quarterback.
Yeah,
Their offensive line is fine. They're not
yeah,
the best. They're not the worst. They're average.
and
And
they got the best defensive coaching mind. I feel like in Todd Bowles. Oh no, yeah, no,
you
not
talk
Todd
about the
Bowles.
offensive.
No, there was who's their defensive coach. Um,
I don't know. We don't focus on
Anyway,
defense.
I know, but anyways, I'm saying the defense is solid. Everything is solid. Like if they just have
Yeah.
decent quarterback play, they could be a very successful team, man.
Oh, you're talking about
Um,
uh used to coach for the Dolphins.
yes,
Starts with a B.
Flores, Brian Flores.
Yeah, Brian Flores. There you
Yeah, I
go.
think he's a great coach, and their defense has been super solid. But yeah, there's just a couple things they got to do, and they're right there in it. I love Kevin O'Connell, culture he builds there. So yeah, if
They're
he
gonna have to get
can,
this run game going if they want to succeed. So
yep. And I think he's going to be the main recipient of that.
it's a good pick. That's a good pick. I don't really have anybody there at the end. Y'all have heard me talk enough this episode. So in the comments, tell me where you agree, tell me where you disagree. But man, I felt like it was another great episode, and it was fun again, and we just had a good time doing these episodes tonight. So appreciate
Yeah, man.
everybody for listening. Ian, you got anything to say before we sign off?
Man, just as always, dude, it's a pleasure to have me on here, bro. I love coming on here and just talk ball. We could do this for hours, and we really got to
We
stop
did.
ourselves. You guys do not know how hard it is for us to stop ourselves from just rambling on like we do on a regular basis. But yeah, we just do this, and if y'all could like, share, whatever, send some money our way. I'll put my cash app in the comments. That would be awesome. But yeah, dude, the Fake Stuff Fantasy Podcast here again. Thank you, bud, for having me.
I think if you put your cash app in the comments, you have more chance of all your money getting stolen.
Losing,
Rather than
yeah,
people,
losing
yeah,
everything, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't do that, but
I'll
it
put
was
yours in
fun.
there. I'll
And
put yours in there. I'll put yours in there.
don't do that either. Too many scams out there right now. uh,
West.
all right, well, we are out. Appreciate everybody for listening. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.